how to express what I'm feeling when I see you. You flash a smile, I'm like, is this happening? I look your way and then of course drop everything. You walk over and ask if I'm alright. Hey, whatever it takes to break the ice. Don't walk away, there's more to say. I just need the courage to let you know what's on my mind. Like every time you pass by, something just feels right. Not empathy, it's energy locked up, that's ready to scream and shout. Won't make the same mistake twice. Ready to shake up and break the ice. Maybe a joke first, maybe a pickup line, but either one of those is just a waste of time. I need a better way, I need some inspiration, something that better explains all my motivation. To meet you, know you, and be on your mind. I have to, but how do I put this right? Don't overcomplicate, just say hi or whatever it takes to break the ice. Don't walk away, there's more to say. I just need the courage to let you know what's on my mind. Like every time you pass by, something just feels right. Not empathy, it's energy locked up, that's ready to scream and shout. Won't make the same mistakes twice. Ready to shake up and break the ice. Do you have a roadmap that I can try? 'Cause I think I just got lost in your eyes. I have to tell you, I really want to. Whenever I look in your eyes, I won't make the same mistake twice. I'm ready to shake up and break the ice. Don't walk away, there's more to say. I just need the courage to let you know what's on my mind. Like every time you pass by, something just feels right. Not empathy, it's energy locked up, it's ready to scream and shout. Won't make the same mistake twice. Ready to shake up and break the ice.
Hi, very good evening once again. I hope you're all doing fine, and I see some different comments altogether. Okay, anyways, we'll discuss regarding the preparation and all at the end of the session, right? So last 5-10 minutes, we will allot that for general discussion. But now, as we have planned for discussion of key points, right? So this is our 10th video in key points series. So today we shall discuss few key points from all the basic subjects, as many as possible. And then at last 5-10 minutes, we shall allot that for general discussion. Okay? Hi Nidhi, Nikita, Dhanlakshmi, Angel, Akshay, Kedar, Pradeep, Bipin. Hi Srish, hi Shruti, Preeti, Prithvi, hi. Hi Deepthi. Hi Rupali. Hi Dishya, Niharika, hi. Hi Momin, Devashri, Kedar, yes. Gina and Regina, hi. A very good evening all of you. So it all started with Pradeep saying, I'm starting to get frightened, sir, is this normal? Okay, yes Pradeep, it's absolutely normal. There is nothing really to get frightened about. You'll definitely have these kind of feelings, but as I keep on saying, this is how, it all depends on how you manage yourself, right? Anyways, we'll allot last 5-10 minutes for a general discussion, right? So don't worry. So we'll start with our first key point. Hi Shivaranjani, hi Richa. So all of you might have heard of lumbar puncture, isn't it? So lumbar puncture, as you know, is used for collecting CSF, isn't it? Cerebrospinal fluid. So when you give lumbar puncture, the needle passes through a few tissues in order to reach the subarachnoid space wherein you can collect your CSF. So what are all the tissues that the needle encounters as you pierce the needle till the subarachnoid space? So that's the question. So what are all the tissues you come across while giving lumbar puncture, starting from the superficial most skin till the deepest layer, that is your subarachnoid space? Give me an order. Hi Sirisha, a very good evening. I hope you can see, right? So lumbar puncture. So what is the first surface structure you come across when giving this lumbar puncture? Obviously it is skin, right? So starting from skin, what would be the next tissue you would come across? Yes, obviously epithelium. And then skin followed by subcutaneous tissue. Then followed by, hi Abhishek. Yes, what ligaments do you come across? Good, Nidhi. Okay, so you come across few ligaments as Nidhi said. Supraspinous ligament. Followed by interspinous ligament. Followed by ligamentum flavum. Next, yes, supraspinous, interspinous, ligamentum flavum, and then followed by your epidural space. So this epidural space contains fat as well as venous fluxes. Right? So after epidural space, obviously subdural space. Then after subdural space, good, subarachnoid space. So finally you have subarachnoid space from which you collect CSF. Let me just remind you one fact. I'm sure few of you might not be aware of these things. So whatever information you come across in live sessions, take it as an add-on, right? You did not really worry if you're not really aware of these points, right? So the objective of these live sessions is to give you as much as possible relevant information in entrance point of view. So whatever information you're not aware, you need not really worry. You can just consider this as a bonus or add-on, right? So that's how you approach, that's how you orient yourself, then you'll definitely feel good and you'll feel very confident as you're getting more and more information, right? Yeah. Hi Neetu, how are you doing? So we were discussing regarding your achievement yesterday. Anyways, once again, congratulations and a very good evening. Yes, so this is a sequence of various tissues at different planes which you come across while giving a lumbar puncture, right? So starting from skin, subcutaneous tissue, supraspinous ligament, interspinous ligament, ligamentum flavum, epidural space which contains your venous plexus as well as fat, and then subdural space followed by subarachnoid space where there is CSF. Clear? Yes. Okay, Regino. Yeah. Now, the second key point, blood-brain barrier. You might have heard of blood-brain barrier, isn't it? So, which areas in brain do you see absent blood-brain barrier, or blood-brain barrier is absent in which part of or which different parts of brain? Remember, as I told you, today's key points are mostly from the basic subjects. So, blood-brain barrier is absent in which parts of your brain? Good, Unmesh. We have something called as area postrema, which is a component of fourth ventricle. So area postrema of fourth ventricle doesn't have blood-brain barrier. Yes, good. Anything else? Yes, Nidhi, Neetu, Kedar. Yes, hypothalamus. Hypothalamus. Okay, let me just write down the list. Yes, pineal gland. Good. Yeah. So blood-brain barrier is absent in pineal gland, hypothalamus, area postrema of fourth ventricle and third ventricle also. Good. Yes. And also you might have heard of something called as circle of Willis. So what are all the arteries which are the components of circle of Willis? Hi Manasi. Yes, Nikita. Yes, anterior and posterior communicating artery, anterior and posterior cerebral arteries, and internal carotid artery. Yes, good. So, circle of Willis. The components include, so as you all rightly said, anterior and posterior cerebral arteries, anterior and posterior communicating arteries. Internal carotid artery. Right? Okay. In the entire vascular tree, we have aorta, larger arteries, medium-sized arteries, and then smaller arteries, followed by arterioles, capillaries, venules, veins, and then vena cava, right? So in the entire vascular tree, where do you find greatest drop in the blood pressure? So where do you find greatest drop in the blood pressure in the entire vascular tree? And please remember, few of you said middle cerebral arteries. The middle cerebral arteries are not considered to be the part of circle of Willis, right? Good. Yeah. So you say vena cava and aorta. Where do you find greatest drop in the blood pressure? The greatest drop in blood pressure occurs at the transition from arteries to arterioles, arterioles to capillaries, capillaries to venules, venules to veins, or aorta to arteries, or veins to vena cava. So if you have these kind of options, which one would you select? Like, where do you find greatest drop in the blood pressure? Good. I hope you can see. The greatest drop in blood pressure is from arteries to arterioles. Right? Good. As you all rightly mentioned. Now, coming to various kinds of calcification, you might have heard of metastatic calcification and dystrophic calcification, right? So as you all know, we have already discussed this in the previous videos also. So metastatic is something which is seen in normal tissues because of increased serum calcium levels. So dystrophic, normal serum calcium levels, but it is seen in dead, degenerated tissues. So what is the normal serum calcium level in blood? Normal serum calcium level. It's understood, right? Yes, it's metastatic, hybrid. It's metastatic and dystrophic, isn't it? So what would be the normal serum calcium levels, including the units? And when do you consider a condition to be hypocalcemia? Yeah, Preeti, doesn't matter. We'll revise once again at the end, right? Yes, very good. So 9 to 11 milligrams per deciliter, normal serum calcium levels, isn't it? Now, the question is, what is eggshell calcification and where do you find this eggshell calcification? So you might have heard of eggshell calcification. Also, we had few questions on the same in our test series. So what is this eggshell calcification? Yes, Preeti. Something which is seen on radiographs. Calcification around intrathoracic lymph nodes seen on chest x-rays in case of silicosis. Fine. So that's the eggshell calcification. Eggshell calcification is a thin layer of calcification around intrathoracic lymph nodes seen on chest X-ray in case of your silicosis, and it's an example for metastatic calcification, right? Now, another question which is totally different from all that we have been discussing so far. Where do you find longer duration of tooth to tooth contact? It means occlusion. In which situation or scenario do you find longer duration of tooth tooth contact? Is it during swallowing or is it during mastication? So wait, I hope you got my question right. So in which scenario, is it during mastication or is it during swallowing? In which scenario do you find longer duration of tooth to tooth contact in a given day? In a given day. So it's mastication versus swallowing here. Okay, for all. Okay, let me just look at your answers and then I'll come. If you take at a given instance, okay, let's assume in a given day, and all those have answered mastication, it means you're eating the entire day. In fact, we swallow n number of times compared to the number of times we masticate, isn't it? So the tooth to tooth contact is longer in case of swallowing compared to mastication. And also, if you take at a particular point of time, swallowing, it takes some time. It's not momentary, but mastication is something which is like momentary in nature, isn't it? So obviously, the tooth to tooth contact is longer in case of swallowing compared to mastication, right? Do you agree? If you don't agree, then you need to go through the statistics. Okay, thanks Abhishek for saving me. Yes, Richa, thank you. Fine. Now, okay, Kedar, Deepthi. What is lipiduria? Yes, Angel, Brijesh. Lipiduria. You might have heard of hematuria, proteinuria, glucosuria, isn't it? So what is lipiduria? Adipose cells in urine? Shivaranjini? Okay, Angel says. Hi Sonal. Yes, Deepthi, Nikita. Right? And also go through the values of, you have your lipid profile. We even have the table given in our e-classes. You can go through various biochemical values of various ions, various, various solvents or various solutes. It can be bile, it can be conjugated, unconjugated, or lipids, proteins. So go through all the values in your e-classes, right? Where we have given you the serum biochemistry values, right? You can find that in our classes. And try to memorize those values as much as possible and keep on revising them until you achieve some kind of perfection, right? Simple. So lipiduria is presence of cholesterol, triglycerides and lipoproteins in urine, right? And also go through the serum cholesterol, triglycerides values and different types of lipoproteins depending upon the density, depending upon the fat content, depending upon the protein content, right? So we have all these values given in our tables in e-classes. Please go through them. And another altogether different point. You might have heard of pemphigus vulgaris and bullous pemphigoid. In terms of presence of bullae, how would you differentiate pemphigus vulgaris from bullous pemphigoid in terms of presence of bullae or bulla, singular? Yes. So in case of pemphigus vulgaris, it is intraepithelial or intraepidermal bullae. Good. Whereas in case of bullous pemphigoid, very good, it is sub-epidermal. Isn't it? Fantastic. So pemphigus vulgaris intraepidermal bullae and bullous pemphigoid sub-epidermal bullae. Now, altogether a different question again. You might have heard of complement system. We have a group of 20 such proteins in our serum which respond to different kinds of immunological reactions. So, I'll give you a context and tell me which complement factors are active or actively involved in that particular scenario. For example, if I say opsonization, as we have discussed previously, C3b and IgG, right? So leave about antibody, we'll deal only with complement. So in case of opsonization, C3b is a complement which is responsible for it, isn't it? So which is the complement which is responsible for chemotaxis? Yes, Brijesh, Prashanti, Angel, Neetu, Prithvi, Soumya. Yes, Nidhi. You are talking only about complements. Okay, so as I said, let me just write down somewhere here. Okay, just mention it here. So opsonization, the complement which is involved is C3b, isn't it? Chemotaxis, yes, C5a. Good. Next, anaphylaxis, type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, anaphylaxis. Good, C3a and C5a. Good, Prithvi. And C5a is considered to be more potent. Yes, anaphylaxis, anaphylatoxin, C3a and C5a. Viral neutralization, viral neutralization. Yes, Abhishek, good. Sonal, Kriti, Kedar, Ranchul, Dhanalakshmi, Shivaranjani. So viral neutralization. So it is C1, C2, C3 and C4, viral neutralization. Okay. And finally, cell lysis or cytolysis, which complement factors are responsible for cell lysis or cytolysis. You might have heard of this term membrane attack complex, MAC. So these complement factors are responsible for MAC formation. Yes, Sonal, good. Nidhi, it is C6 to C9 and C5b. Right. I'm sorry I had to write down, because in this format, as we are having space constraints, the next time we should plan it in a more better way possible, right? So as you can see, opsonization C3b, chemotaxis C5a, anaphylaxis, anaphylatoxin C3a and C5a, of which C5a is considered to be more potent, viral neutralization C1 to C4, cytolysis or cell lysis C5b, and C6, C7, C8 and C9, which help in forming membrane attack complex, MAC. Yes, good. So we'll have a summary of all that we've discussed so far, and then we'll have a 5-minute general discussion, and then we'll conclude, right? So first we've discussed about lumbar puncture. As you can see, skin, subcutaneous tissue, we have few ligaments like supraspinous, interspinous, ligamentum flavum, epidural space, subdural space, and subarachnoid space we define CSF. So epidural space, it contains fat and venous plexus. Subdural space is considered to be a potential space. Very limited. And then regarding blood-brain barrier, we discussed the fact that blood-brain barrier is absent in case of pineal gland, hypothalamus, area postrema, fourth ventricle, as well as third ventricle. And then circular philis, the feeding arteries include anterior, posterior cerebral arteries, but not middle cerebral, anterior, posterior communicating arteries, and internal carotid artery. And also, greatest drop in blood pressure in the vasculature is seen from transition from arteries to arterioles, and then normal serum calcium levels 9 to 11 milligrams per deciliter. And also, we have discussed about axial calcification, which is nothing but calcification around intrathoracic lymph nodes seen on chest X-ray in case of silicosis. And tooth-to-tooth contact is longer in duration in swallowing compared to mastication, contrary to what we think. And lipiduria, very simple, cholesterol, triglycerides, and lipoproteins in urine also go through the lipid profile, the values which are very important. And pemphigus vulgaris and bullous pemphigoid differ in the position of bullae. The former has intraepidermal bullae and the later has subepidermal bullae. And then we have gone through few complement factors which are involved and responsible for certain specific actions like opsonization C3b, chemotaxis C5a, cytolysis C5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then anaphylaxis C3a, C5a, and finally viral neutralization C1, C2, C3, and C4, right? I will add up some colors to this, and then I'll share the same in our Google group as well as in our WhatsApp group. And you have any further queries, drop them at proudtobedentist@gmail.com. And starting, few of you said like, I'm feeling tense. Is it normal? It's, in fact, few of you said that you're even feeling frightened. It's absolutely normal. As the main D day is approaching, we obviously have these kind of feelings. In fact, this is good. This is good because it doesn't allow you to take things lightly. It doesn't allow you to relax. It keeps you on high and it helps you to give your best. So this feeling of frightening, this feeling of some kind of tense or this kind of tensed environment, in fact, consider this a positive sign because, as I said, it removes complacency and makes sure that you give your best, right? But at the same time, make sure equally that it's not consuming you totally in such a way that you are sleep deprived and you are losing focus. That shouldn't happen. If that's happening, then there is a serious issue there, right? So you should have those kind of feelings which help you to give your best. At the same time, balancing them enough to have good sleep. As I keep on saying, sleep is very important. Once you have good sleep, then you can focus on the entire day as much as possible within the best of your ability in a given situation, isn't it? And as I keep on saying and reminding, believe in yourself. You're going to do fantastic, and do not worry about results. Just focus on giving your best, right? You're not able to complete your daily quota. So please tell something. Yes, Abhishek. If you're following this daily schedules, why don't you just drop a mail? I can see and I can give you some suggestions if necessary. Yes, Abhishek, we do have these feelings. We feel like we need to do more, but we'll be limiting ourselves doing something. But doing something is very important than doing nothing. That's really very relevant and important, right? You might you might have your own expectations to a certain level, but you might not be able to reach there. It doesn't mean that you're not doing good. In fact, when you have your high expectations high, you will try reach them and you will do at least 60 to 70% of what your daily target is. Tell me one thing, are you really able to reach at least 60 to 70% of what your target is in a given day? Yes, Nidhi. So, Kedar, so what you used to do for relaxation before your MDS entrance exam? I used to do many things, Kedar. I used to listen to music, or I used to talk to my parents, especially my mother, or I used to message to my girlfriend, the then girlfriend, okay? So you have to do things which give you pleasure. I hope you can understand, right? Yes. I mean, every one of us have our own way of relaxations, right? So I used to listen to music, definitely. I used to chat with my girlfriend. Then girlfriend is now my wife, okay? Nothing else. And then I used to talk to my parents. Like I used to share all my feelings to my mother. So my mother used to boost me up. She used to just tell me one thing, don't worry, literally I was of no confidence. I didn't have any confidence, I didn't even imagine that I would crack entrance, but my mother always used to support me so much that she believed more in me than me believing in myself. So that's why I said, you are more talented and you're more powerful and you're more effective than what you actually think you are. And your parents will definitely understand, your mothers will definitely understand that. So given the amount of effort you're putting in, they'll know. If you can't talk to them in person, at least talk to them through phone, at least through phone. Or you have this technology, you have this live, you have this video calling. You can use this, listen to music, talk to your best friends or loved ones. It can be. Most importantly, share your things with your parents, especially your mother, and they're going to give you the psychological backing and most importantly, attend my live sessions. Attend my live sessions every day, more or less Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. I will add up some amount of extrinsic motivation, maybe 0.5 to 1%, right? Yeah. And also you can share your feelings to me. You can share in my mail or you can share it live sessions or live feed. If you think you have some privacy issues here, you can drop a mail where only I'll be checking all my mails, right? If someone is asking you to make money, let's say goodbye to them. Yes. So Kedar, I hope I have answered your question, right? So think for yourself which activity would give you pleasure and indulge in that to some extent as a mode of distraction. Most importantly, have quality sleep, right? Have quality sleep. And before sleeping, as I said, in the final stage of preparation, the previous video which I posted, so before sleeping, should have this one big positive thought that you're going to be the topper in this year's entrance, and when you wake up with the same thought, no matter what happens, no matter how your preparation is. Yes, Vidhi, you're most welcome, Vidhi. Glad to hear that, Preeti. Yes, Abhishek, you say you're able to cover 50%. Okay. Yes, Abhishek, if possible, fill up that daily schedule format which we have created and drop a mail. Let's see what we can do to enhance your preparation further, right? And also don't stress yourself too much. Even that's very important. As I said, it's all about your mind game. It's all about putting the right balance. And the reality is, you're not going to do wonders in these final days. The only thing which you need to focus now is to hold on, just keep yourself calm and make sure that you revise all that you have prepared so far, so long, and give your best. That's it. It's not that you study something additional now and you score something additional. That never happens. See, it's not by luck you score an entrance. Luck factor is further minimized thanks to your native marking. So it's all about calm and composure. So how calm you stay, how focused you stay, and how much revision you do. All the topics which I have already covered is the key, and that's what I believe in, right? So it's not just about doing some kind of magic in this final list. It's all about holding on and making maximum use of time, and as one of you rightly said, putting quality equally and quantity as well. In fact, by the time you have reached this stage, you might have realized the fact that you need to put more and more quantity, right? So along with more quantity, along with more hours of study, add up quality as well. You need to be staying focused, and you need to not get least distracted possible. Keep your smartphones at bay and use them only when necessary, and limit the usage to maximum of 45 minutes to 1 hour, as I keep on saying. And most importantly, Kedar, as you asked me, I put my smartphone away. Literally, I put my smartphone away. I used to spend maximum of 1 hour completely in a given day, and that helps you very much. Yes, Neetu, it's very glad to see your comment, Neetu. And in fact, that's boosting me up. And thank you so much for sharing your feelings. So Neetu, you say, so when I was giving my interview, I was very tensed and really, sir, I was only thinking of your general session, and sir, it really helped me. Yes, so Nidhi says she dances out in order to release out free radicals. Yes, Neetu, you're welcome. Okay, so Neetu, you say most of the questions are from your lectures and exam also. It's really glad to hear that, Neetu. So I've been trying to cover as many points as possible, and this kind of feedback really boosts us up, myself and my team. And thank you so much, and congratulations to you once again. So Preeti says you're stuck in medicine and oral histology, dry subject. Okay. Yes, Preeti, just go through only the key points of synopsis, and then try to leave the subject, right? Get over it and start off with another new subject. Yes, oral histology, just go through synopsis, go through only key points or videos, right? So that would be more than suffice at this juncture. Yes, Shilpa, you're most welcome. Glad that you're finding it useful. You're welcome, Neetu. Yes. Right? So, more or less, we'll try to have one live session every day, except on Saturdays and Sundays. Anyways, even on Saturdays and Sundays, I'll be in touch with you either through WhatsApp group or Google group, right? And whatever I do, it's only, as I keep on saying, 5 to 10%, the rest 90% lies in the way in which you take, right? It's not that I'm shutting myself off the responsibility. In fact, I want you to be the master of your destiny, right? So tomorrow we'll come up with a general session, bang on, and let's make it big, right? Okay, and in future, in the coming days, I have a plan to conduct a longer live session comparatively. We'll see how we can do it, right? 4 or 5 hours at a stretch, if possible, at least in one day in a given week, so that we can cover as many points as possible, right? Yes, I think we started having network issues. Yes, Nidhi, that's really glad to hear, and thank you so much for showing your love and affection. Kedar, Prashanti, Deepti, very glad to hear that. And you started moving me. Thank you so much. Maybe you might be missing me, but I'm not going to miss you. You're going to stay here forever, as long as I'm alive, right? Seriously speaking. Because the reason is very simple. I started this project out of passion, and I never knew that it would work out this way. And you guys really helped me, in fact, to sustain my activity. And this is all possible because of the reciprocation which I get from you all. And thank you so much once again for your love. We shall save this for tomorrow's discussion, and we shall have one general topic discussion tomorrow, and see you again, right? Yes. Yes, Dhanalakshmi, right. Yeah. Good night, all of you. Have a pleasant sleep, and try to sleep by 10 and wake up as early as possible, 4:35 a.m., and make maximum use of the early hours, right? So wish you all the best. See you again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Love you all. Take care. Bye. Yeah, bye. Good night.